Well, here's revision B. Steel plate rack I'm making. So these are pieces of diamond plate steel, 1/4 inch diamond plate, and didn't have to drill any holes in any of the plates that are right here because they actually had a ton of holes drilled into them already. And so I found that piece of angle iron up on top there. That of course was pre-drilled as well. So I started cutting these out with my Sawzall. Ended up with about 14 plates till it's all said and done. And so here's the first 7, which I decided to hang on hinges. So the cool thing is, of course, you hit one and it moves, and you can see some little dots on it. Those are 22, and so the 22 is enough to move it without really, of course, banging it up at all. And I'm hoping, because of the hinges, I haven't fired any 9mm at it yet, but I'm hoping once I do, there'll be enough give because of the hinge that it'll not go through and bang up the plate steel too bad. So I've also got some thicker plate steel. One of these days I'm going to make some targets out of that as well, but for now this gets me up and running. So I took one bolt at the top here, one bolt on the plate, and these of course at the top are pretty tight, and then these at the bottom are pretty loose so they can move around. Piece of furring strip here, just 1x3, and all I did was stake it into the ground, cut a notch here at the top of it so that the plate, the angle iron could go into it, just enough for me to experiment. So this is revision B, because I started off with only 3 or 4 plates hung with hangers, hinges, and then the rest of them I just tied with some clothesline. And of course they spin, and they did some neat things, but they didn't always fall back into a place where they were easy to hit from, whatever vantage point you were at. So the neat thing was I got to move around a little bit to hit some of the other plates. Now, this is the 0 point. That's what that stake is for right there. And if I turn around, I have, if we can see it, maybe right there. This is 3 yards. So there's a clothesline that goes between a couple trees. And that's the 3-yard mark. And then I put stakes at 5, 7, 10, and there's one all the way out there. We'll zoom, see if we can spot it. Uh-oh, where'd she go? Can't see it in the sunlight, but there's one out there at 25 yards. And those trees that are off in the shade in the distance there, I'm going to guesstimate, haven't measured them off, they're about 35 yards. So I think the longest shot that I have here is going to be about 40 yards, unless I decide, which I may yet do, to go further deep up the hill here. So I could go another 10 yards and probably get 50 yards out of all this if I really clear away a little bit. And the only problem is the pitch here, the elevation. You can't see it, of course, in this camera. It's a pretty good grade. These plates here, which are almost at ground level, at 10 yards are at shoulder height. So there's enough of a grade here that in order for me to shoot plates on an even plane, I actually had to mount them pretty much at the ground. So there's still a little bit of upward elevation, but they were not possible to mount at shoulder height. So that's why they're hanging so low here, because down there it's so much lower. So neighbor's got the excavation business up there, and he's got that bulldozer. One of these days, have him come down here and we'll clear this out a little bit more. There's a maple tree here, which I'm going to take down because of the way it's angled, and that'll open up a little bit more light here. And this is my pistol range. Slowly but surely coming along. By the way, let me step over the clothesline here. This section here where all the ferns are, eventually, that's going to be BB gun range. I'm going to set it up so that I can do BB guns in that direction. Possibly that direction as well, because those certainly won't reach the house, which you may see the white blotch through the trees. That's my house. So don't want to shoot anything that's a real firearm in that direction. BBs I don't worry about, especially out of a little BB handgun. So my fire pit, this is where I come up here and cook hot dogs and practice my fire making skills. Couple of stands that I made for silhouette targets, and I generally put them right there, and these came out really nice. So I actually have 3 of them, 1 I use for BBs and 2 that I use up here for rim fire and center fire. And if I turn the camera, there we go, I just hang them from that tree branch right there, from that notch, and painted them up so that they'll hopefully last for a while. And I think that gives you the quick tour of my pistol range and hanging out campfire cooking area. So beautiful, beautiful June day. It's June 15th, I think. I'm not even sure what the date is. Never am. I don't live by the clock. I don't live by the date. Take each day as it comes. So someday I'll give you more tour of the property, but for now this is where I'm at. And yeah, I need to mow. I haven't mowed in about 3 weeks up here, so that's project next. Thanks for watching.